Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we got to look at the Kleber for you. That's right, legendary tier French destroyer. Violet's the man on there with our standard destroyer build, Sims Bay, and there's the ship build. Now Kleber, not this update, but I think it was last update, got kind of hit with the nerf hammer pretty hard. Okay, the torpedoes, I think the reload was slowed, and the range, more importantly, was cut down by about 25%. 8 kilometer torpedo range formerly, now down to 6 base. Okay, so a little bit more high risk, high reward, as it should be. I mean, the Kelber formerly was kind of one of the best ships in the game, no doubt. Certainly the best legendary tier ship in the game. And now it's been kind of brought back, to the pack a little bit. I still think it's pretty strong. I think a lot of people are too down on the Kelber. It's definitely a lot harder than it used to be, but the tools that it has, it's definitely always going to be kind of a high skill type of a ship. No smoke, of course. Disengaging much more difficult, so you got to be able to pick your spots, and mistakes are going to be punished more. But we still have the tools. We got the main gun battery reloader. The torps, even though the reload was cut down a little bit, are still relatively quick, and we got 2 launchers per side. I mean, this thing is a menace, and the main battery reload means you can quickly take down destroyers and beat pretty much any destroyer in a gunfight, and the torpedo threat means battleships and even cruisers are going to have a hard time dealing with you. And by the way, we're not going to see it in this game, but the AP pretty solid, even a little bit at range against things like broadside cruisers, so be sure to be testing those shells out if appropriate. The guns are pretty dang strong in this thing. So moving into position here, crash zone, I believe, domination mode. We're on C, of course. 2 destroyers per side. We're one of them, and the blue team. Some of our ships are going to be kind of hanging back, but we're seeing the guys that spawn to the middle. They're coming over here as well. So I'm thinking, okay, we got pretty good support, and keeping an eye on the support ships in the distance. Okay, we got to always be thinking as a destroyer when we're moving into position. Okay, what if I get spotted right now? How close am I to the red support ships? We can see blue's support ships not very close to us. In fact, the guys coming from the middle are closer than the guys that are responsible for playing the side. But we're keeping a pretty good distance. We want to be at least 10 kilometers, and you can see the Bismarck's getting a little close. We're trying to sail away from him. Launching the torps at the radio locator. That's not to the Minotaur, of course. We're assuming there's probably a destroyer there. And since that's kind of the line that it's presenting, just go ahead and throw them out there, then we flip around because we do have more torpedoes available. Okay, so we're hoping to just get lucky, get the destroyer off the board right away. But, since we don't do it, we just flip around. We got more torpedoes ready to go. And I'm calling for the guys on the team to shoot the Minotaur. Okay, one of the most fun ships in the game. I don't know why anyone would not want to shoot a broadside Minotaur. But now we're kind of in a tough spot because we were moving in Shimakaze and we're moving towards the Brandenburg. And we were going to get spotted anyways, so we go ahead and pop the main gun reloader and start wailing away under the assumption we're probably going to die here, so we got to at least get the Shima. That's why we put the torps down on him. I was initially hoping to torp the Brandenburg, but being this close, or it's a Bismarck, sorry, not a Brandenburg, being this close to a secondary beast and the Minotaur, we're just under the assumption we're probably going to die here. So tried to get the Shima down. Didn't quite get him. He is low, so he's going to be forced to be a little bit more conservative throughout the remainder of the game. And then we do drop spot. He did pop the smoke, and we stop shooting. Use the violet perk that allows the gunfire penalty to cool down quicker, and then get away from the Bismarck. And we got the extra torp salvo off on him, and we're actually going to land the torps. I think it's the 3rd torp on the 1st salvo right there. Yep, there we go. Goes ahead and takes him down for the first kill of the game. Ping the Minotaur. Come on, guys. Shoot that thing. Leaving that alone is a bad thing. Okay, the Minotaur can pump out damage. And if he was close to me, he could kill me in 1 or 2 shots. So, and once again, he's amazingly fun to shoot at that guy. But now we're doing what the Kleber does best, and that's moving from point to point. We could pursue the Shima, and normally I would do that, but for the fact that the Minotaur is full health. We're getting no support with them. And for all I know, the Shima's hanging out right by him. So because the Minotaur is a hard counter to our ship, then we make the next best play, which is to go capture B. Okay, now we're going to park right on the edge here, hoping that the Shima is in pursuit. And you can see the radio locator is pointing over there. It's possible it's locating the Minotaur, and the Shima may be on the far side of that island, right on the edge of the map. But we can see here, you know, those ships, I can't see exactly what this is, but about 11 kilometers away. We know something is closer to us than that, okay? So I'm parking over here, just hoping the Shima will be scared off by the pack of ships coming towards us. Of course, it's going to launch torps into that black hole that's moving towards them, but then it's going to be field and pressure to get out of there is my hope anyways. So we're hoping to sit here, spot him, gun him down, capture the base, and move on with our life. But now that the team's closing in a little bit, and we're not really getting any action there, we want to keep moving. Okay, we want to keep going. And you can see red is overloading A. They're not pressuring it particularly heavily, but they should win this side just based on the math. They have way more ships over here than blue does. And since blue has an overload on A, we got to just assume, and there's a radar cruiser over there, by the way. We just got to, whether or not they can actually handle it or not, is outside of our power to control, but we got to assume that they're in position to handle things there. So we're coming over here to support. We want to defend A since we got all 3 caps. We also want to bust up this black hole, get 1 or 2 of these battleships off the board if possible, maybe get this other destroyer, which is going to be a Friesland. There's the Shima. I don't know if he's probably getting radared, would be my guess. He's got 4 ships near him. Should be an easy shot. I think he will briefly get away, but he won't be too much longer for the world anyways. And now we're attempting to ambush the Massachusetts. So I'm keeping the island in between me and him, and then we're going to keep checking him with the torpedo indicator, seeing which way he is going. It looked for a minute like he was going to cut back to the left side of that island. Now that he begins to speed up and he commits to go on that side, we launch the one side. We got the guns over here just in case Shima once again sails in over here. Wary of the Alaska. Once again, another radar cruiser. He's going to be full health. And then there's the Friesland. So the guns, we're going to take a little bit of time to spin around. Slow French destroyer traverse. So we just commit to keeping him on the right-hand side, turn the ship physically, and hoping to kill that Massachusetts. Got him low, but didn't quite kill him. And then he begins to turn away. So we launch one kind of futile set there, and then we'll launch one at the Friesland. But I want to get the Friesland off the board, solidify our lead. The idea is the Massachusetts, or whatever that battleship is to the right, would get blocked by the island before secondaries chew us up. Probably should have waited to start shooting just a smidge longer to ensure that we didn't take more damage, but I didn't want the Friesland to drop spot, and I was hoping to get him off the board. So he does pop the smoke there, get away, and now we got some incoming fire there, which was dangerous, but because the Friesland smokes up and the Massachusetts behind the island, other ships outside of our max firing range, now we drop spot, and now we're taking a moment here to assess what can we do. Shima's still on the loose, still spotted though. He's still a one-shot. Massachusetts, if we fire on him, we will be spotted, but we're hoping the Friesland's still in the smoke trying to use his guns. And so we're just trying to get this Massachusetts off the board as quick as possible. Make sure, you know, our team can kill him before he can fire his guns one more time. That'll cut down his damage in the match by 1 reload's worth of damage. And we do confirm the Friesland is still in the smoke, or he sailed directly away from us. But the smoke or the island in between us, because we didn't get spotted, or we didn't remain spotted when that Massachusetts died. So always looking for these environmental cues on the spotting to deduce who is where. And now we're rushing the Friesland. I'm still thinking to myself, okay, he might not have a target to shoot at the moment, but he probably wants to use that long duration 2-minute American type smoke charge that the Friesland has. And he wants to use that offensively. So I'm going to rush him, use this quick speed. You can see we're going 54 knots with the speed boost, even though we're changing direction a little bit. Trying to cut him off, and then also moving into these battleships, trying to create another angle of attack on the guys that are capturing A. Because even though we're up big in this game, we do want to close it out with success. So that's the main idea. Get the Friesland off, the Shima and the Minotaur both dead on the eastern side of the map, so that's good. And we're trying to see, okay, can we torp Alaska? No. Can we torp the other battleship? No. I'm hoping that maybe we can proxy spot this guy. We'll use the smoke, shoot this guy quickly, and then drop spot. But then we see that, I think that was the Brandenburg coming around the bend there. So we launched a couple torps there. Friesland pops up here. Now I'm thinking to myself, okay, double. I want the double strike. I'm a double strike aficionado. And the first torp's not going to hit him. Kind of rush this set right here. Normally I'd want to hold this launch until we get access to his broadside. Maybe launch right about now. Then we can guarantee a kill. But once again, I was trying to get the double strike if possible. And then we didn't kill him and we were going for the ram, but he actually torps us in defense and takes us off the board. So I don't know if we actually would have sunk him there had we rammed him. I actually probably don't think we would have, but that's just a feel thing. I don't ram destroyers, or rather, I don't ram battleships in a destroyer basically ever. But when you see it happen, they don't tend to do a lot of damage. And he did just use the damage control because we had torped him and hit him with a flood. So I actually don't think that would have killed him, but it might have. And we were going to die anyways with his secondaries and his main guns chewing us to shreds anyways. So that was a last-ditch effort. But the Kleber, is it as powerful as it used to be? No, of course not. But it's still quite strong. And, you know, you can see here we were controlling the game. We got the caps that blew control, and we got the destroyers off the board. So that's all we can do with that Kelber, and it turned out well. Anyway, that's a look at the Kelber for you guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. Questions, comments, leave them below, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.